Boy, just woke up. But fuck it. Sometimes I just really be wondering. I just be wondering, what does Israel, I don't know if I'm saying it well, what does the country of Israel really have on the countries in the Western world? It's crazy. It's like we somehow know what China has on the countries in the Western world. They have a really good trading, without China, you don't really get all those cheap stuff, because without China, then all your stuff, all the prices of your stuff just increases and all that. So you basically just have to suck them off, even if they're doing bad things. It's like Saudi Arabia and UAE and Qatar. You really can tell them to, go away, because you rely on them for oil, gas, and all that. And if you do anything bad, they could just increase the prices of oil, and then your people will suffer and all that. We understand. Question now is, what does Israel really have on the Western world? Apart from merely just feeling bad for them, basically feeling bad for them because of the Holocaust, it's like, my whole point is, for how long are we gonna treat a certain people as victims? So the point is it gonna be like 1,000 years past, and then we still gonna be sitting here like, oh my God, but the Jews went through the Holocaust, and Hitler killed a lot of people, so we just can't go after the people of Israel. They've been victims enough. It's like, when does that stop? So what am I talking about? A couple of days ago or yesterday, I don't know what happened, but it just seems the Israel military is just going around killing a bunch of Palestinians, right? They're killing a bunch of Palestinians, and then when you watch the videos, it's tragic, because it's like, damn, what did these people do to deserve this? But then there's a lot of news outlets. There are multiple outlets in the what you call it, Western world, saying, oh, they shot first, they attacked first, and now Israel have the right to eliminate all the Palestinian population. But I'm like, bro, I really don't know the history of this. But if I'm sure, most Jews went to Israel after the Holocaust, right? So I don't know if Israel existed, because according to the Bible, Israel is supposed to be existing. But how come Israel was nowhere in the map before the Holocaust and after the Holocaust? I literally have no idea. I haven't done my research about this topic. But regardless of if I've done my research or not, this is really heartbreaking. The fact that so many people are being killed, and no one in the Western world or in the so-called powerful world, I know China and Russia is really not going to do anything about it. So that's why people depend on the US to do something about it. But you all know that the US is not going to do anything about it, but because for some reason, they are scared of Israel. I read something like, okay, yeah, this is what's going on. America sells most of its weapons to Israel, and then Israel will give them some cyber intelligence, type stuff. So I'm like, maybe there's a real trade-off going on. But does that make you go blind? Do you just go blind? Because I'm thinking, what if, how they always say, oh, Hitler had 2 million Jews in the concentration camp, and we just never knew about it until, the Allies got to Poland and then saw a bunch of Jews just struggling, right? What if the Western world actually knew this was going on and played it down because they tried to play Hitler down, and then eventually it just went batshit crazy, and then they couldn't play it down anymore? Yeah, because this is how you drag stuff for them to get big. Like, instead of just interfering right now, putting aside anything, any trade, you just, nesting it. You just dragging it. And then eventually, you see like 10 million Palestinians dead. And now, in like 100 years, you're writing the history books and be like, in the year 2020, Israelites killed about 10 million Palestinians. And we knew nothing about it. We knew nothing about it until about years later, we went to Israel and we saw 10 million Palestinians dead. I just feel like they probably lying about not knowing about the Holocaust until it was actually done. I think they knew. It's the same vibe right now. Because you look at multiple outlets, the New York Times and all of them, and then they are like, oh, Israel is being attacked. Israel lost about 2 people after the Palestinians attacked the whole nation and killed 2 people. Nah, Israel is in danger. We stand with Israel, right? Stuff like that. But then you read accounts from real people on like Reddit or Twitter, and then they are like, no, that's not actually the case. Israel is attacking the holy land of Muslims in Palestine. I mean, whatever, they're attacking it. Israel has killed about 20 Palestinians, and the Palestinians had to, fight back. But I'm just like, how is Palestinian people attacking Israelites if they don't even have a nation or a land or a sovereign? They don't have any. They can't claim anywhere. How do they get rockets? How do they get guns? It's a complicated story, to be honest. I just don't know how Palestine can attack first if they have no reason to. I mean, they've literally limited your land to like this small land. How you I just don't buy that Palestinians attacked first. It just doesn't make sense. But I saw a video of Israel just sending about 100 rockets. It's crazy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's really crazy. But the point is, everybody is acting like they don't see what's going on, at least in the Western world. All of them are supporting Israel because, in my opinion, they're supporting them in good faith. They just like, whoa, we just gotta choose a side. We don't care. They're supporting Israel because, Israel have something to offer. So it doesn't matter if they kill other people or not. It's like how China had all those people in concentration camps. They didn't do anything about it because what? China has something to offer. It's crazy. So it's like, at what time or at what point are they gonna realize what's going on is really Israel being a bad country as opposed to Palestinians being bad? I don't know. But it's crazy, and I just had to talk about this. I just hope at some point we start changing our views and forgetting about our trade with Israel and just, start protecting the Palestinian people. Because even if they're Muslim, they are still people. Like, I just don't know why. But they are still, just don't know why we somehow don't treat them as such. But, thank you for watching, though. My name is Prince Opinion Diviente, a conversation with the people, and I'm gonna see you next time. Peace.